I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Tuesday. Here we go. Maybe our last day without Jbird. We'll see how it all goes down. He's going to be heading to the doctor today, and it's all about the doctor and what the doctor says as to whether or not he can come back and join us physically tomorrow, or if he can just at least be on with his voice and hopefully his lovely face, if we can figure out that system. So either way, there's, I would hope, at least a good chance that we'll hear a good bit more from Jbird on tomorrow's show, one way or the other. So that at least is the game plan. So we'll see how it all goes down. Well, we got a lot of other stuff to get to here today, and one thing that we were talking about earlier on the show was Jbird had a buddy that tried to get 15 pizzas on a Saturday right about 1 p.m., and they're like, yeah, we can't accommodate something like that. And thought maybe that was kind of odd, and I was like, well, I don't ever know if I've ordered that many pizzas in that kind of situation, but I'm sure if you have birthday parties and whatnot, you do. So what is the customary thing? I would imagine you prearrange it with a business, and they'd be like, yeah, okay, we'll expect that, and we'll make sure we at least have enough people working or everything's set aside so that we can deliver what you need at this time. I would imagine that would at least be something. Maybe it's because they called on the fly. They're just like, yeah, we don't have enough people, couldn't accommodate. But you're talking about the pizza ovens that they would have, Virginia, how many they can cook at one time, and you seem to think that getting through 15 and 20 minutes or so wouldn't be a big problem for a pizza place.
I mean, most places can handle that.
Okay.
It seems, I mean, from the pizzas I've ordered 15 at a time before.
Okay. We had gotten a text from somebody during the regular show, and they said, I recently quit a job at a pizza place, a local mom and pop. We did get an order from a friend of the owner for several pizzas, and it was during a slow time. And the reason they denied the order at the place that I worked was the owner and his friend who makes the pizzas didn't do it because they were annoyed. They didn't give notice. And also, they were stoned at the time. And apparently this place is also known for closing early or at random times, or not even just opening some days because the two in charge party too much. The employees don't care at all. Yeah, that could be it. I'm hearing more and more of that, of, you know, people that just do not care at all. It's a wild concept to me. It just really is. I don't know. I guess they don't fear failure and unemployment and no money and all that
Not
stuff.
everybody has the same work ethic.
I guess.
When you go out in the wild.
It's wildness to me.
It is wild in the wild.
I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know. I guess maybe we just all grew up different. I don't know. Pretty insane. Some of the other emails that we got here, we have been talking a little bit today with Am I the Jerk, of somebody who was a stepfather that had stepped in when the biological dad stepped out for his wife's child, and then he became the father and paid for everything, was there for every milestone. The dad was in a band that is now broken up, and so the dad's around a little bit more, but still doesn't reach out that often. It's sporadic, and typically when he does, he's hitting up his own daughter for money. So that's the kind of dad that this person is. And then the girl comes to the stepdad and says, yeah, I'm going to have my biological dad walk me down the aisle. This is to a wedding that the stepdad is paying the bill for, and he was really looking forward to that moment. And an interesting thought from Suzanne, she said, is she even sure that her biological dad is going to show up the day of the wedding?
You know what? That is not your worry. You be there and you show up and you do what you're supposed to do. And this will play out. If this guy's a loser like we think he is, he's going to show himself again and disappoint his daughter again. And she will come running to you to be that solid, supportive, amazing dude you've always been. And you just continue to do you and don't let this man change you.
Mm-hmm.
You be you. You've been solid. You're at the finish line, bro. Don't trip. Don't mess this up. You almost got to the finish line.
So Bobby had a question. He said, when Magnolia gets married, will her biological dad be the one that walks her down the aisle?
Magnolia gets to pick. Absolutely, 100%. It's her choice, and we will support whatever choice she makes. I would prefer if she would elope. That's just me.
Yeah, it's a lot more affordable that way because you guys are on the hook.
If we're being honest, I would prefer that she's also a lesbian, but that's just me.
Doesn't look like it's going to go that way, though, huh?
I don't want to push you in one direction, but a lesbian elope would be great.
Yep. Now, there's kind of a crazy story that's going on. It's in the football world, but it's still a little bit wild nonetheless. The quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, his name's Dak Prescott.
Oh, yes, we know him.
Have you heard of Sarah Jane Ramos, who was his fiance?
No. What'd she do?
That's a question. I think a lot of people would like to know what happened. They were going to get married. They were a month out from their wedding, which I think was going to be in Italy, and they were doing a joint bachelorette party.
Okay.
And during that, they called off the wedding.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Did she catch him doing something?
I don't know. I am not getting any kind of information. They were in the Bahamas, and they do have one, maybe two kids together.
Okay.
And it said that she posted a carousel of photos alongside her fellow bikini-clad friends taken from her bachelorette party in the Bahamas. And it said, penned a caption with a curious emphasis on the importance of friendship. It said, I truly believe you can get through anything in life as long as you have really great friends. I love these girls so much. And then 2 days later, it was reported that they had called off their wedding.
Well, she was probably trying to get to the finish line, which is the marriage, but maybe there was trouble. You've already got 2 kids, so you're going to get the child support money.
Yeah. Maybe
he did something.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately the question. What did he do?
Did he do it on the bachelorette party in the Bahamas? Because, I mean, that's dumb. If you have a joint bachelor and bachelorette party, you have to behave. You can't be getting a stripper in the room or any kind of shenanigans that might happen if she's not in the Bahamas with you.
Yeah, there was talk maybe it had to do with the prenup, but they've kind of shot that down. So not really positive what it was. She is a wine and spirits specialist.
Me too.
Yeah. And who knows what went down. There were apparently a couple other wags. You know what a wag is?
Wife and girlfriend of athlete.
Yeah. So Jenny Greer, the wife of quarterback Will Greer, the girlfriend of another safety on the team, were along with them. So they had a lot of these other ladies. So, and they said the relationship is beyond repair.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Now they're going to prioritize co-parenting their 2 young daughters.
It's not going to be beyond child support because there will be a hefty price tag attached to both of those children based on their income. And I would assume that there's going to be a big gap between what she makes as a food and wine influencer and what he makes as a quarterback.
He signed an extension shortly after he proposed to her in October 2024. His contract extension was worth $240 million.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. So who knows? We'll see if it was all about her not wanting to sign a prenup or not. But, you know, even if that was the case, you know, you would think she's still going to get enough money because once you have kids with them, then, you know, prenup doesn't cut you out of everything.
She's still going to get a nice chunk of money for the child support. And maybe that's what she looked at it and said. She's like, he's being a douche. Do I want to really marry this guy who's disrespecting me in whatever way it went down? I've already got him on the hook for child support for 2 kids. You know what? F this. I'm not signing the prenup. And we're not getting married, and you'll hear from my lawyer on the child support.
Chicago Lulu said that she comes from a wealthy family and she doesn't care for the prenup. I think that's how they're trying to spin it. I got my own, so I don't know.
Look, you got your own, sure, but it's always better to have more. I think even rich people would tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the photos from the party. It was amazing. It looked like a private plane that they flew over to the Bahamas on. And I don't know if they paid for everyone or they made them pay their own way. But I'm looking at the photo that she has with the girls, and I see 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 girls in one photo.
Whoa, that's a lot of girls.
Yeah, so imagine if you had 15 girls and you're paying for that whole thing. And, of course, they're right on the water in the Bahamas, makeup, everything, nightlife.
And you said
boats.
Joint bachelor and bachelorette, so he was there too?
supposedly, but there's not one photo of him on her Instagram.
Oh, he effed up. He did something. There was beef before they landed in the Bahamas. Were they all on the private plane together, or was it just all the girls on one plane?
No, I mean, depending upon what kind of size private plane you're taking, I think, the smaller ones you can put 9 to 10 maybe comfortably on, but you would need something to be a little bit bigger, like a 737 or something like that. I mean, if you're going all together, and let's say you have maybe, if she has 15 and he has just 5, you would still need 20 to 30 spots, I would imagine. So I think you were talking a large private jet if you're taking one.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, who knows? Thank God it's the off season. He's got some time to.
Yeah.
This is the time where you have relationship drama.
This is the time. Do it now so when you get back into the season, you can focus.
Yeah. Now, there's another love story that we really haven't gotten into much. I know my wife has, of course, because she doesn't skip a love story. But Amanda says, I've been into the Hulu series about JFK and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. I haven't heard you guys really talk too much about it on the show yet, but it's a pretty hot series. Yeah, they just did a JFK Jr. lookalike contest, and I think it was in New York they did it. They said it's a great romantic watch. Virginia would love it. I think y'all would like it. However, it is pure fiction. They made Daryl Hannah out to be some cokehead-obsessed ex.
I saw that. Daryl was all pissed.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said it was just a hit piece. She said that she wrote a scathing co-op-ed about it. She said, I never desecrated anyone's heirloom. I've never done coke. I never ruined a memorial. So, sounds like, they were. That's why I didn't really get into it. And I'm not overly fascinated by him. It was a very interesting story that went down.
How many episodes is it? Because if it's more than 3, I'm not going to watch.
I don't know on that. Said, I know it was supposed to be a love story, and so her character had to be the annoying ex that got in the way of the main character. But after watching the series, it seems to me like JFK is kind of like the modern-day Justin Bieber, where Selena Gomez is Daryl Hannah, and then the one he really loved, and then Carolyn is the Hailey Bieber, the next pretty thing that came along.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Mike is calling BS to her never doing coke. She was in a coke era.
And never.
Never once done it.
Never.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you say never, then it's like, okay, all bets are off. You're like, oh, I occasionally be like, well, maybe you did it one time and this is what they're talking about. You got too loose on your coke. Yeah, I hear you. But it'd be tough to be in that world and not ever have dabbled in the booga sugar.
During that time, especially. I mean, that was just rampant.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were doing Do It Bitch today, and one of the topics that came up was reality shows, and I blew it because I said Bachelor Nation instead of Bachelor Mansion. And Kathy's saying, maybe I heard wrong, but Kevin said Bachelor Nation. Everybody said that wasn't a reality show, and it was. And now let me clarify here, and I'll actually defend why I didn't get the point. I did know Bachelor Nation slipped into my head because I know everything they do is under the umbrella of Bachelor Nation. That's how they do Bachelor and Bachelorette. And so if you look closer on this, it says meet the men of Taylor Frankie Paul's season of The Bachelorette. And so just Bachelor Nation is the umbrella. It's not an actual show.
No.
I appreciate you fighting for my point, but I didn't deserve it. I didn't get it.
We tried. Mm-hmm. You gave a good effort. I mean, look, you got really close.
I mean, to get 10 and 10.
10 and 10 is very good considering how many words you had to say.
Yeah, and I just blew it on the one. If I'd have said mansion instead of nation.
We would have get it.
I'd have done it.
Yeah.
I'd have been right with y'all in the next round.
But instead, you had to eat that dog snack, and boy, am I grateful you said Bachelor Nation.
Yeah. We were talking about Dwight Howard living under the same roof with his ex, which was a topic that had come up the other day of living with your ex and how does it work? And Alyssa said, yeah, I got to stay in my home for 6 months with my ex after we've announced our divorce. I got to wait for my townhome to get done. It's a new build. And so, yeah, we're just trying to make it happen. But we have had a lot of boundary talks, like you cannot discuss anyone you're dating, etc. It's not easy, but sometimes because of the financials, you Got to do it. Just can't wait till June.
Oh my gosh. I would be living on a girlfriend's sofa.
Yeah.
I would find some single girlfriend and I'd be like, look, I will cook you meals. I will clean your toilets. I will do whatever it takes just not to have to see his scraggly ass every day.
I really think it's the best way.
You are committing to 4 months of misery. And I think life is too precious to give 4 months of stress, aggravation, misery. Just when you pull in the driveway and you see his car, you're going to be like, ugh, like, no. Leave your stuff there, yeah. And maybe go back when you know he's not there to pick up clothes and shoes for the week.
I think it's a good way to do it. Just say, hey, look, I'm not going to be here for 3 or 5 days. You've got free reign of the place. And then,
just don't be here on Friday when I come to get my new clothes for the week. And
yeah.
You don't want to be staying there with him.
Be clear what you are allowed to take and what you are not. Be like, I have cameras. They turn off, I'll call the cops.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You might want to put some of your stuff in storage if you think like he's got sticky fingers.
I was thinking she.
I was thinking he.
Oh, of course you were. That's why I got to defend over here. Always thinking a heated crook. No, I was working the other way around. So you're going to take your Rolexes.
They both have the crook ability.
I don't know, Virginia. I don't know. We'll see. Did get an email here about Harry Styles' new album from Joelle. She said, I wanted to thank Kevin for mentioning the new Harry Styles album that was released late last week. There are some awesome songs, including American Girls and Ready, Steady, Go. Yeah, I heard probably 3 or 4 songs. I'm like, okay, that sounded more like it. And I was a little surprised by the first one, and maybe I'll be there eventually one day. I'm not there today. I didn't hear it. And that's always a big discussion that happens when you're an artist. What song do you lead with? What's the progression going to be on the singles? And it might be a little bit different now because almost it seems like the zone gets flooded with a ton of songs all at once. And there sometimes is not a lot of symmetry to what singles they do go with. I've noticed that like Morgan Wallen's album, and they're all kind of there and they have finally eventually done it. But at first, man, they come out this massive album and you're kind of hearing a little bit of all the songs for a little while.
I think, too, as the artist gets more power, which I think Harry is coming from a little bit more of a position of power now with his success, the artist can say, no, we're going to do it this way. And so, right or wrong, I think he gets to have more of a say.
Yeah, probably. And when you have, I think he has a little bit more cachet in it. And I think, too, I don't think they necessarily care as much because, the concept I'm talking about arguing for singles, this would be the first song, second song, third song. That's when they were releasing to radio and they're trying to get people to buy the album. Now, with people and the way things work, you listen to whatever you want. Like for me on Apple Music, I'll listen to the whole thing, grab whatever singles I want. So for streaming numbers, they're like, hey, while the album's hot and we've done all this promo stuff, throw every song out there. We don't care what sticks. And then from that, then they can maybe push radio singles and say, okay, this song was streaming the best. Let's try to get radio to play this first. And then you've got actual data to base your decisions on. So maybe Harry was like, yeah, put that one Aperture song out. And they're like, this song sucks. All right.
All right, Harry.
Okay, whatever you say, dude. And then it was out there for a little while. Now all the songs are out there. And, then the fans can really start to dictate by streams which ones they like the most.
I like a toe tapper that's catchy. And he's had some very toe tappy tunes. Aperture didn't exactly slap for me with those criteria in mind. But maybe he loves it. Maybe it speaks to him. Maybe it's his artistic thing that he wanted to lead with.
Yeah, well, he is kind of an avant-garde dude.
Very. And it's kind of an avant-garde song.
And that's probably a good move for him. He don't want to get to be predictable and poppy. He wants to come out with something that's a little bit more out there. And people go, whoa, that's a little weird. But that's probably what he wants. She said, I hope that KVJ starts playing American Girls as it will go to #1 fast. Yeah, I hope we do too. Like I said, I don't even understand the rules of the game anymore. They've changed so much that I don't really even know. David would be the guy to talk to on how they decide all that kind of stuff and what they decide to go with singles. Like I'm surprised we just now are starting to legitimately play the what is it, The Fate of Ophelia?
The Taylor Swift song. It's been out for months and months and months.
Just now are we getting that as a regular song. And I always know if you're playing it in mornings on WRMF, it's a massive hit. But I was surprised it kind of took that long, and I don't know why. I can never guess. I can never figure it out. I'm just like, oh, there it is.
Stop trying.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I'm like, it's just, that's why that's David's job.
You focus on do it bitch punishments
that's
over there.
That's what I do.
Eating dog treats.
What do they say? Stay in your lane?
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. I'm staying in my lane. That ain't my thing. I have no idea. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Look, I think, we play as it was right now. I played that the last couple of days. It still sounds good. And the odd thing, I don't hear Watermelon Sugar too much, or that Golden song. I freaking love that song. Of course, that's the one you hardly ever hear.
It's a great song.
That's such a good song. Yeah, I mean, he has some really great tunes for a dude that young.
And there was some nice stuff on the album when you played it track by track.
Yeah.
There was about 2 or 3 that I really thought were going to be cool.
That's why I like to do that, throw it out there. I'm like, it gave me redemption and more hope.
100%.
Mm-hmm. And Karen said, you got to check out Charlie Puth on Hot Ones. Great interview on the risk of being rude. What is the deal with the eyebrows? Yeah, does he have a couple of, I think I saw he has like a couple little lines in his eyebrows.
Some people shave lines in their eyebrow. That's a thing.
So I'm trying to figure this out. So my son Cannon has that. And I noticed that. I don't want to be rude because I don't know.
Well, you can ask your kid.
Yeah, but
what's going on with your eyebrow?
Look, I got weird kind of eyebrows. Like mine don't go all the way out. He's, part of my biology.
Yours are there, but they're weird because they're 2 different colors.
Yeah.
So for half of it, it's like a dark brown.
So I thought maybe we got a family genetic trait. You come out fucked up eyebrows.
And so give him bad.
I didn't know. So I didn't want to point out what might be something he's self-conscious about. I'd be like, what's up with your eyebrows? Be like, I don't know. It's just the way they are.
We Ralston men are known for no calf muscles and half a brow.
Right. We've got some bad genetic traits that we're handed down, unfortunately.
But you're sweet as pie, though.
Yeah, we are all sweet. We're all sweet men. Yes, we are. And he's sweet as pie, too. But, yeah, he got some jacked up eyebrows. But I don't know if that was an intentional thing or not. And it's only on one side. And it looks like it. That's why I almost like it was right on the tip of my tongue, like going, what's going on with your eyebrows? But
you didn't say it because
I didn't say it.
If it is not something he can control.
Exactly.
You don't want to make fun of it and then give him a complex.
Yeah. If it isn't, people are telling me it's a trend. And so if it is, I just got to, find out and make sure. Because I just noticed it one day. I was like, he always has eyebrows like that.
Ask your wife, ask your daughter. Get a little intel before you go in hot.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I'm glad I bit my tongue because I've done that before where, you just think it's one thing and you step in it.
Oh, when you ask a chubby girl when the baby is due.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not pregnant.
Right.
Yeah. Be careful commenting on people's physicality if you don't know them like that.
Yeah. Skate to Beach said, Kev, your eyebrows always been that way or has it just changed with age? I think they've gotten thinner with age.
Mine too.
Which I'm like, well, yeah, because I don't remember them being that light is what they are now. In fact, it's almost to the point I'm looking like I got alopecia. So I don't know what it is.
We can dye that.
I keep up with it. No. If I didn't have a lot going on, I was just kind of sitting around all day, be like, hey, we're going to do I'd be all into it, but I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, Virginia.
Once a month, you could do it.
Again, ain't nobody got time for that.
I could do it in here.
After I retire, you have full reign to dye my eyebrows all the time. When I got nothing going on, I'm just chilling at home, be like, hey, what you doing?
Then it won't matter anymore.
Well, no.
Because then you're just doing it for vanity.
Right.
I'm doing it for KVJ TV.
I hear you. Yeah. I just don't know when we'll work that in the schedule.
Oh, I'll get you real nice. Right in here. You won't have to do nothing.
I got to still talk.
I know.
I'm busy while I'm in here.
You can talk with a little.
You tried that before. Like you're doing something. I'm like, I'm trying. No, I can't. This is not working. And you poke me in the eye and I'm trying to read. I'm like, yeah, it's not going on.
I got my husband doing it. He does it now. He colors in his eyebrows, and it looks good. I'm like, Panda, I've been doing this for years. It just makes your eyes pop. It just looks good. And he was like, all right. He sat there, and he let me do it one time, and then he liked the way it looked. So now we do it together. It's a little bonding.
You did it one time, and I don't think it really took too well. I don't think it came out the way we thought, right?
Imagine that. You fought it.
No, I didn't. Look, I just had my freaking face here. I mean, I don't know how
your face fought it.
How did I fight it? You can't fight like dye.
Your face resisted.
It just wouldn't take. It just.
Well, we got to leave it on longer, maybe for you. Maybe you're a tough
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember I did have you try it. I think you did poke me once in the eye, and then it was like,
And then you got pissed.
it was just a mess. I'm like, it didn't make a difference. I'm like, what a waste of time. Like, I'm not doing that again. Talk me into it one time. You had one time.
I had my shot.
You had one chance.
I poked you in the eye.
Poked me in the eye. Got mad. I'm like, no,
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I wasn't trying to poke you.
My eyes are fine. I know. Don't worry about it. It wasn't nearly as bad as when you about burnt my nipple off with that Nair. That was a lot worse.
Who knew? You can't leave Nair on a nipple for too long.
You left for like 2 hours. I'm like, how long is this thing got to sit? She's like, till the hair's gone. Till the hair's gone, Kev. I'm like,
gave him a
what time my
chemical
nipple
burn.
going to be gone? I mean, the whole thing was nothing but a scab. I honestly thought when the scab was done, I just thought the nipple was going to fall off. I'm like, I'm a weird ass looking man. I could never take my shirt off at the BG gang because I'm going to have one missing nipple and be like, what happened to your nipple? Be like, I had a Nair accident. It'd be like, what? I'd have to get like a fake nipple, but then it probably wouldn't match. Like they'd be two different colors or
We can
something like that.
tattoo you a fake nipple on.
No, I mean, it looks so odd. Yeah. Should have known right then and there. Virginia's experiments, they never turn out well for me.
You're my lab rat.
Yeah, I noticed that. You do it great with your husband, and you always fuck me up. Why is that?
Because you are on a time clock, and it makes me nervous.
It's just, every time you tried anything, it's always been a disaster. It's always painful, and I always regretted it. Jill, talking about the geo-engineering movie, she said, love the show, wanted to pass along this movie, The Dimming, that I would highly recommend all of you to watch. It gives an in-depth study of weather modification and geo-engineering, so you can make your own conclusions to what is happening in the skies.
Ooh.
The Dimming. Okay, I will try to check that out at some point.
Definitely.
When I can. I do love all that kind of stuff. Always watching it. In fact, there was one thing I was seeing. I don't know if this would interest you and anybody else, but have you ever heard of the Havanah Syndrome? Yes. It all started Havana, Cuba is where it's from. Some people that were there at the embassy, and they were getting these weird illnesses or just feeling off, and like something's not right. And there were people all that work there, and they were like, well, maybe there's asbestos pain or something like that. And they kept coming on stuff where they thought maybe it's just psychosomatic. And then you remember when we went into Venezuela and snagged Maduro?
Yeah.
And the Venezuelans were talking about it. Even Trump had alluded to it, that, we kind of had a gobbledygook little ray or something like that. And everybody kind of got sick, and they were discombobulated. Discombobulated ray, I think is what he called it. He's like, oh, call it the disco. And so he had like a name for it. The discombobulator, I think is what he's going to call it. But it sounds like we have this weapon. And this is a crazy thing. Like 60 Minutes is doing a special on it. And where it came down to was, it sounds like maybe it was a weapon that was on the arms market. And, we got a lot of Russian mob and all that kind of stuff in South Florida, that somebody that maybe the Russian mob or, one of those kind of agencies had wound up selling it. And so they were talking about it. And they're like going, yeah, okay, we think we actually have this weapon, and talking about what it looks like, and even talking to some of the victims that had the Havanah Syndrome. Here's a little bit of the 60 Minutes story on it.
Undercover Homeland Security agents purchased a miniaturized microwave weapon from a complex Russian criminal network. We are told it doesn't look anything like a gun. It's designed to be concealed and small enough to be carried by a person. It is silent and doesn't create heat like a microwave oven. Our sources say the device is programmable for different scenarios and can be operated by remote control. The range of the beam is several hundred feet. It can penetrate windows and drywall.
Wow.
That's horrifying.
Isn't that crazy that they have a weapon like that? Like, you're just chilling, and all of a sudden you're like, ugh, and here's the guy kind of describing it. And this guy had 5 different attacks, and he describes the pain. And most of the attacks, he was home chilling.
They got this cat 5 times?
He's like in his house doing dishes, and all of a sudden he's like, he's sitting there watching TV. He's like, it's just...
Bruh, you need to get some underground tunnel situation and go into hiding.
Right.
What are you doing on the grid?
5 attacks they had, and it all kind of...
They would only have to get me once, and I'd be like, F this. I'm going into hiding.
I just, because, the thing that happened, too, they were getting gaslit. Because you imagine that you feel what they feel, and he's going to describe it here in a second, what it felt like, and you're telling somebody, be like, And they're like, I don't know, man, probably something else. Let's have you look at the doctor. And they're like, I don't know. And nobody gives you an answer. It's like, I think someone's using some weird weapon against me. Like, all right.
All right, crazy.
They got a ray gun, like, pew, 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 pew.
Through the wall, sure they were.
Right. And now they're like, maybe this isn't. Maybe they were actually using it on these people.
Dang.
Here's the dude talking about it.
The very first incident occurred in August of 2020, and what it felt like was that someone punched me in the throat, and my left ear was clogged. And I started to get sharp shooting pains going down my left arm. The second attack, I was standing in my kitchen looking out at the backwoods, and it felt like an immediate vice on my head. Immediately disoriented, confused, and dizzy.
Crazy, right?
I mean, remind me not to piss off the Russian mob. If they're the ones that got this stuff.
Yeah, well, it could have been they had it and they just bought it from them.
So anybody could have it.
Right. So, you talk about the dark web, or you talk about some of these arms dealers and stuff like that. I mean, this kind of ties into the kind of stuff that Jeffrey Epstein probably could have been in, where these are arms dealers that they have these kind of things and said, hey, you want to see my discombobulator ray?
It's a ray gun, and you can be like outside of somebody's house and shoot them through the wall, and you will F them up.
Yeah, now I don't know ultimately what the end game is for this. I mean, I don't know why it's just like, we just effed them up really hard. Like, that really hurt. But I don't know what the end, because I hit him 5 times and the guy's like not dead. But he's,
I think he got the message.
Right. But I don't know what the message was. That's what's odd about this is, why did they choose these people? What was the point of the attack?
And can I have one of these guns just for an afternoon?
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
I would love to go fuck a few people up.
But this is what's messed up about it. I mean, listen to what these symptoms are like. This is like, if you did this, you better be ready to throw down. This is the kind of stuff where you go shoot somebody if they pull this on you, because this does not sound like fun.
Immediately disoriented, confused, and dizzy. The third attack, towards the end of September, I was sitting in our living room.
In his living room.
Damn, they got him in his crib.
Chilling in the crib. Everything's all good. No worries in the world. I'm safe at home.
Right.
And instantaneously, all of the muscles within my spine immediately cramped, much like a Charlie horse.
I mean, terrible.
Oh, my gosh.
Just lock up.
And my spine felt like it was on fire, so very hot and sharp.
I mean, come on, right?
You would think you were dying.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you don't see anybody, you think that this is something brought on by a physical health condition.
Right, yeah.
You wouldn't think there's a dude with a ray gun standing outside in my bushes.
Right, a pew, pew, pew.
That's not where my mind would go.
The fifth one was by far the worst, and that was early December. And I woke up with a full body convulsion. The worst pain I have ever felt. It felt like a vice gripping my brainstem was there.
I mean,
my
come on, like
gosh.
that's real. That's like a torture device.
Did he move locations, or was he still in the same crib? Because I'd be like so gone.
Well, they happened all over the place. It wasn't just, there were a couple that happened at his house. Some were, walking to the embassy or wherever he was going, just out in life, whatever.
If they shot him out in public, like walking into the embassy, I'm sure there was other people around. He's the only one that felt.
No, there were many. Oh. That was it. And that was the thing. They were dismissing, and this isn't a new thing. This is probably at least 10 years old when this
people.
Yes, many people were saying, we are experiencing the same stuff. And then they're just like, we think you guys are crazy, or something's going on. Maybe you drank something weird, or
if you
get bad shellfish or something.
Multiple people with the same symptoms. It's a wide net ray gun.
Yeah. Yeah, RJ Dunn said, this is on 60 Minutes. It was just this Sunday night.
Damn, I'm going to go watch it. I have 60 Minutes saved. I haven't watched it yet. This is good stuff.
Well, and that's what we're talking about in warfare. Like, warfare is so whack now.
Warfare is crazy, y'all.
Yeah, the electromagnetic waves, drones, these robot dogs, robot soldiers. And just everything. It's just, what the heck, man? It's crazy.
Well, we're just speeding towards mass destruction of all and everything that we built.
Oh, it's nuts.
We're going to kill
nuts.
ourselves.
Yeah.
All of us.
I just watched the most troubling AI special the other day, too. I was like, oh,
I have to put my phone down at times, and I'm like, you got to compartmentalize, Hooker. You can't think about it because you will seriously be sad.
Yeah.
The Earth, the humans are destroying the humans.
Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy. So, who knows? A lot of odd stuff going on in this world.
Makes me want to get a cocktail. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm up. Let's go. Go grab a drink. What the hell? Why not? All right, y'all. Thank you guys for the emails. Always appreciate that. You can give through to us at mail@kvjshow.com. Hopefully the bird is back with us tomorrow. If we get any kind of word and we get a chance or a heads up, we'll try to post it on our socials so that you'll know what the condition is.
Hopefully he'll give us a video with the news, whatever it is, good or bad. We want it.
Yep. All right, so back here tomorrow, y'all. We'll see you then. Goodbye.